Coast niggas straight posted in the valley. About to catch a PJ and touchdown to Maui. Cause we on top of this game. Top of the game, top of the game. And we don't roll with no lame. It's another summertime night up in Cali. We just left the club out the function in the alley. The West Coast niggas straight posted in the valley. About to catch a PJ and touchdown to Maui. Cause we on top of this game. Top of the game, top of the game. And we don't roll with no lame.
Just waiting for Lucky Loco to come on, okay, everybody? How's everybody's evening? How's everybody? Whoever comes in, because I know everybody's on right now.
Just keep waiting till I get the next round. Get the rebound, and that's what I'm down for. All the niggas praying, waiting for my downfall. That ain't gonna happen. Only ever let them. All the ships, I'ma get them. All the bitches, I'ma get them. Wet up, set up by the U.S. Marshal. Won't lock me up, the hell if I know. 3 years probation, that's what they gave me. I ain't going soft even when I make it. Fake it, getting me. Psycho Dawson is dabbing me. I'ma stay true, like my crew. Low to the game ever since I grew. I ride the bus capsule, set up my fuse. Don't trust many niggas, only a few. We get them superstars, I thought you knew. Fuck popping bottle, we stay semi brew. I'ma keep stacking, I'ma keep rapping. All of these bricks and send out the package. I'ma keep causing damage. I'ma get on my baggage and fly your way. Far so far till I get stranded handling. Making trap beats cause you didn't bandit. This game is on me like Olympics or Athens. They wanna shut down. Fuck that. All day, we stay on the map. What can I do when I'm frozen? Just keep my head up. What can I do when I'm frozen? Just keep my head up. What can I do when I'm frozen? Just keep my head up. What can I do when I'm frozen? Just keep my head up.
Sorry, got it. Like kind of technical difficulties. My child is pressing buttons and it took you off, and I'm oh,
Oh, okay. All right.
my bad, my bad. I'm sorry, my bad.
All good.
Are you ready? You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hi, everybody coming in, and let me turn off the music. Doo-doo-doo. Let me see. Um, I just want you to feel comfortable on speaking on whatever it is that you want to speak on one of the questions I'm about to talk to you about. It's for my anthropology class. It's culture,
Okay.
tradition, and all that.
All
I'm
right.
trying to get everybody that I know because everybody I know is a different race or mixed or whatever, and I want everybody's point of view on the YouTube because my platform is the YouTube, and that's what they gave me in class. So I'm asking how you when you are around the YouTube streets, how they treat you because you're native, or they judge you because you're native, or they actually want to know about the culture you come from and the background and stuff like that. I want to know why is Lucky Loco named Lucky Loco, and why is he Lucky Loco? What makes you Lucky Loco?
Okay. Yeah, I got Lucky Loco from my grandfather. He's been Grandpa Lucky forever, and it used to be Big Man, and then I had an incident where I got shot a couple times and flatlined. Came back. I flatlined about 12 times, and then my grandpa was like, "Hey, you're gonna be lucky." So now I'm Little Lucky.
So in other words, everybody that gets that name is for the reason, the reason being lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. That's the things you were posting online, right? On the Instagram.
yeah.
I was trying to figure. I thought I'm like, what happened? It's because I've
Yeah,
been
no,
losing a lot of track of everything because I've been going to school like 6 classes like the whole week. Tomorrow I got class too, so I go
oh,
Monday,
congratulations. That's what's
I
up.
don't got Friday off, and then I get Sunday off. So it's like, yeah, I don't get days off in other words, but yeah,
Yeah,
but I got straight A's though for that
that's
one.
what's up.
I,
Congratulations.
I,
That's
I
what's
tell
up.
my mom, look, my dream came true. I only thought I would dream on this because I never got straight A's. I graduated with a 0.25 high school, so you know what I mean. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so my deep nerd inside me came out. Really
That's what's
old
up.
though.
That's cool. Oh,
Oh, but that's why I tell everybody I'm a nerd in the low key section though. But yeah. Um.
yeah.
Another thing, what is your ethnicity and or race or whatever it's called, and what is it that you love about it? What is the like traditions and stuff like that? Are they still there or not?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, on my mom's side is Pakwachin First Nation. It's in Saanich. It's in Vancouver Island. And then my Hilsick First Nations is from my father's side. And that's just my mother and father. That's including my grandparents and my great grandparents, different tribes that they're from. So I really adapted to the Pakwachin First Nation side. We're canoe people. We're over here actually by Washington State. So if you go to the Puget Sound, we're almost like on the American side of the island, and being able to, our people are longhouse people, that we're not teepee, Great Plains Native Americans. We're off the ocean. We're canoe people. We do bartering. We're really family orientated when it comes back before being colonized. We did a lot of like trading. So we would there's certain berries and stuff and that we would grow that couldn't grow up north. So we would canoe and trade with one another. So with me being Native American, I absolutely love it. Um, as uh, as you know, there's two educational systems of the Native American. There's the school system that will tell you about Thanksgiving, the lies of Thanksgiving, and then there's the dead honest truth that what my parents told me about my cultural
I want to
background.
know that. I want to know that. I didn't know there was two sides to it. So, but I know there's two sides, but I don't know what's the what happened. I want to know what happened. Actually, you got me
Yeah,
intrigued. I
most
know it. You made me go, stop there. I want to know. So yeah,
yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
that's
so
very interesting.
as a kid in kindergarten, they tell you about Thanksgiving. They tell you about all these like really like somebody that's a great explorer. Christopher Columbus came over and discovered and did all this like wonderful stuff for, and then there's the hidden truth of like really what he really did. And growing up, my grandparents, and my parent, because I was raised by my mother, um, they told me about the Native American past and what it really, and just the hidden agendas of like racism and and you find that in like a really like early stage, because when I was in first grade, I'd be called chocolate boy or the N word, and I didn't even know what the N word was. And these kids at school, and the teachers laughing along with it too, and they're just like, all right. So,
Damn, if I was your mama, I would be cussing somebody out just by doing
oh
that.
yeah,
That's
she did. Oh yeah, she did.
oh hell. That's like
And
to
then
me.
she
That's a
wanted to
no.
point the kid out too. Yeah, she was. Yeah, my mom don't play.
I don't either. I will be doing something about it. And if I like one time this little kid was bullying my son, and I told him, if your parents teach you this, I swear to God, they got no manners, no nothing. Mine are really mad and like thank you, and can I open the door and stuff like that. These little kids are like, if I could hit you, I would too, but you're too short for me. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what's your? I'm gonna call your parents. Go ahead here, I'll call him for you. And I'm like, oh no, he didn't. So I took it
Oh wow.
for granted, and I talked to his mom, and he's like, I didn't think you were gonna actually take it for my phone and talk to them. I'm like, you said it. I answered. Give me your phone, and I answered. So now what? What are you
Yeah,
gonna make fun of me about? And he's like, I'm in trouble. You know that, right? No, you said talk to your parents, and that's what I did. So
yeah.
that's not my fault. But nowadays, nobody has nowadays kids don't have not even the look. They look stare at you back. There's like a staring contest going on. Before we used to do that, it's drag. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Straight up.
I told my kids when we went to the restroom, it wasn't to go use it. It was because they were gonna pull our ears all the way over there and tell us something. Like we were scared. Now they don't care. The kids don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they tell on each other. They tell on the parent. They think it's funny to call CPS for no reason. I'm telling
Dang.
you because that's what my friend's daughter did before she turned 18. My friends are like, dude, the cops literally believe everything she's telling them and won't take her. It's like I don't know, and she's disabled, so she gave her help because she couldn't move, she couldn't run, she made fun of her and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
And I know, trust me. And then the cops are telling her, "Oh, it's okay," and this and that, and we're like, "Dude, she almost tried to hurt her, and you're telling her she's okay to do so." It's like, what the fuck? But yeah,
Right.
nowadays they're so different.
Yeah,
What
most
what's
definitely.
so fun about your culture? I know
My
there's a lot of
culture,
things. I've been
yeah, I mean
researching
it's
it.
just about learning about your past and learning about where you get your strengths from, where you get your um when it comes to like bartering, it's still traditions that we still have. If
Your
because
passion, you get a passion for
there's the
something, right? Whatever you
yeah,
feel the
so
passion to, that's your whatchamacallit, your how do you call it? Your mission, like to for you to focus on more and stuff like that, right?
yeah, most definitely. Like when it comes to like cultural differences, like say for instance there's ghetto and then there's the reservation, and that's how I grew up, was on the reservation, and I had to grow up hard, I had to grow up quick. It's a whole different world because I've lived in both. I lived on the reservation and in the
So
barrio out
you
in
you you mean you gotta grow up fast, like mentally wise, like you gotta turn adult. You could say like at age 17 or 13
well,
or under
man,
something.
I was cooking when I was like 7 or 8 years old. You know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean,
they
being
were
left home
prepping
with,
you. In other words, they were prepping you to be what you had to be, right? Like a
it
responsible
was
person and stuff like that.
it was more or less the sink or swim. Like I grew up with alcoholic parents, and they really left us alone, like for days, sometimes even weeks. When you're 8 years old, taking care of an infant, like a 2 year old, my little brother, when he came into the world, and that was just yeah, definitely had to grow up fast, and and I had a lot of friends in that area that had to do the exact same thing too. So
So as a Native American, did you have any issues like like you said you had to get out of the reservation to learn the outside world? You could say.
oh
Did
yeah,
it get,
because
did it
there's
get
a
you more in trouble, or was it difficult to like adjust, or was more funner to you than being at your reservation trying to do by law what your parents had put on you or whatever you call it,
well
like
well
responsibilities?
well in the area at the time, I mean, there was a lot of crime. Just like any place you go in the world, there's going to be sets, there's going to be rules, there's going to be guidelines. And where I grew up at, there was a lot of drug dealing, there was a lot of robberies, a lot of killings. and it was like I said, like even just growing up as a toddler into like even just being 12, 13 years old, I was already um almost like a hardened criminal. You know what I mean? I was already committing crimes. I was already doing robberies. I was doing breaking and entering was like my main thing. I really liked breaking
What
into
made you do
houses.
that? What made you change that to criminal mode and stuff like that? What was it that like? Did you have like an issue that you didn't know how to deal with that made you feel more like wild, like just rebellion, you could say? Because you know how some kids, if they have an issue at home or whatever, they either like us, like me, I was in the streets all the time because I never got attention, so I didn't give a damn whatever happened at the house. It's like, and I just left. I was always kicking it. I was always racing. I was always, I was going wild up and down the streets, you know what I mean? But I was in the tomboy manner, not in a girl manner. Everybody thought I was weird because I was tomboyish. But I was always with the guys. If I had a girl that was a friend, it didn't last that long. That's my type. Because I'm too boyish. To the girls, I'm too boyish. Even to my kids are too boyish. But I used to get out, you know what I mean? Like nobody paid attention to me. Nobody knew when I left and when I came. Nobody knew what the hell I was doing. I didn't like if I was there, that was there. If I wasn't, I wasn't. They didn't care. That kind of thing made me like, oh right, fuck it, I'm gonna go do the most out there. You know what I mean? Never got caught though. That's a good thing. But
Yeah.
and you just gotta you learn to survive. The survive. I've lived in the streets. I've done all kinds of stuff that you can say I'm immune to in and out. Like I could be normalized and I could be out there. I know what's up and I'm in or out. You know what I mean? So it's difficult for me to explain to you, which is still the same thing now than before. So it's like, The only thing that changed me was me having my kid.
Yeah.
That's what opened me to be like more responsible, you could say. Besides that, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been responsible. But I hope, yeah. But I wasn't doing like girls call it hoeing around. No, I was literally doing active studies. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was just to me that was funner. It was more family out there than like I tell everybody. Oh, my crew already died. Like they died literally. Either they got hot shot or they got killed or overdose or suicide or you name it. I lost all my crew.
Right.
I only have like two people left, and I'm trying my best AK mom status, Mama Bear. She passed away at the beginning of this year. So
Oh,
I
sorry to
lost.
hear.
You could say I lost my mama. You know what I mean? But at least they told me though because for family didn't like me. I don't know for what reason, but they didn't like me. But I was actually happy that they told me. I even did a shirt for her the day before the funeral or whatever. And it feels weird to say my mom passed because my mom's not passed. She's still here. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always say my uncle, not my dad. So it's like he's my dad. Like when I see him, it's hi. What do you want? What you need? What's going on? What are you doing here? You know, because he's never home or whatever. So to everybody's like, you guys don't like your dad home? I'm like, no, it's because he's never here. When he's here, it's like, what are you doing here? What's up? You gotta go somewhere. We're like, so yeah, it's that type of thing that made me jump into doing the most and being the tomboy girl I was, and I'm still are kind of annoying. Nobody likes it, but I don't care. But what made you do you like?
Well, what really made me tick was just, I mean, it was to me, it was normal. It wasn't, just like how when you see people get up and go to work and, people follow suit like that. Mine was, my cousins, like older cousins or
We had that
whatever.
schedule that if somebody came on, huh, like, hey, let's go, we go. That's it. We gotta go.
Yeah. So when it was, when I see somebody like, I don't know, I would say the influences was like my uncles, my cousins, and when you see them hustling and doing whatever, and then people, um, just, it was normalized. Like it was really like now when I think about how dysfunctional that sounds, I was brought up like in a really like if I'll probably post pictures and stuff of the areas I grew up in, and it's when you think about like 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds walking through the neighborhood like that, it's just it's
Yeah,
really
when you see it on the other side of the window, how it looks kind of different.
yeah. Would I let my kids walk around like that? Hell no. Um, but yeah, for the longest time, it was just normalized. So when I finally came to Colorado and people like, oh, let's heart check them and see whatever. And it was just like, all right, well, when you grow up on the reservation, Native Americans, they party, they fight. I don't know what it is, but we can't handle our alcohol. And when it came to like fist fights, I was never a stranger to it. So it was just like,
It's the inner call. It's the inner call of anger. It's the inner call.
yeah,
That's in control. Yeah. I have that.
Yeah.
I'm bipolar, and I get really. I see somebody getting hurt, I'll jump for. I don't even know the person, but I'll jump for it because like it's just I gotta get that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. But as you mature, like, doing what you have to do to survive as a little kid, shoplifting from 7-Eleven to feed your siblings, younger siblings at 8, 9 years old isn't normal. You know what I mean? When there's no food in the house, that's what I would do. I'd go, and I think the lady at 7-Eleven knew because I wasn't that too far from where our house was, knew because she didn't even care. I'd like go in there and I would like almost like I was grocery shopping. I'd fill up
She
my
just
whole
looks at you
jacket.
like, yeah, she looked like you're like, oh, okay, here he comes. I'm not gonna say nothing. She's gonna let it be, and
Yeah,
then
shit, because I'd even because I was always like keeping an eye out, but she was like she would look over and then just look down at her like reading a book and just like would ignore me the whole time. And I'd load up and go home, and the kids would have something to eat. My siblings would have something to eat, like it was like simple things like hot dogs. Like I knew how to microwave hot dogs, and it was bags of chips, and that was like when Pringles first came out, and I remember sleeving a bunch of them and just simple stuff for kids to eat and cook. So at that time,
yeah.
that's
But when I was small, I was poor as hell. I'm gonna tell you like this: we used to live in Mexicali. We used to live in a four wall like plywood. So when the wind came, we felt that shit. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
we had a mattress on the floor. It was dirt. The floor was dirt. I'm not gonna lie. We were poor as hell. I'm telling you. Our
yeah,
toys were our dogs were our horses. We made our own toys out of like whatever we found. We were like literally poor. We cooked outside with wood and stuff like that. And then my dad used to work at Domino's and every time, or in McDonald's too. So when we came home from school, whatever, we wait on my dad. We were like, we use either pizza or hamburgers. Everybody, we're gonna eat some. You know what I mean? And then
yeah,
he worked
yeah,
at AM PM and the same shit, candy. He would bring us candy and stuff like that. We were like waiting for Christmas for the hand-me-downs. We didn't give a damn. We were like on lineup, like let's see what we get this year. You know what I mean? And that's
yeah,
why I take
yeah,
care of all my stuff. I take care of all my stuff from like there's no tomorrow. Like my kids are the same way. Like I taught my kids not to want big because money's not always everything. So I taught my kids to sit down, let's do something as a family, and because my family didn't do that shit for me, so I'm breaking cycles in a way. But at the same time, it's like I gotta get to hit the child sometimes. But I don't hit my kids. My mom used to hit us for no reason. We didn't know our ABCs. You got beat the shit, but you know what I mean. So I don't hit my kids. My kids trip out because I don't hit them. Their friends are like, "Your mom's cool." Why? Because I don't hit them. But I slap them though. Tell me something. I'll slap them. That's it. But then I feel like
right.
yeah, yeah. And then like being poor is not funny. It's like you see everybody coming with nice stuff and stuff like that, or you see your friend egg, and you're like, oh crap. So let's go to your house, not mine. Let's go to your house. That you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And
most definitely.
it's
Yeah, that's
hard.
another thing that I had to put up with too, is just being that snotty nosed res kid to where people would make fun of me because, I, 8, 9 year old doesn't know how to groom themselves. I know how to cook. I know how to do all this other stuff. I didn't worry about haircuts, hygiene, and stuff like that. So I used to get picked on a lot, and then that would be like, and then as we got older, it was like I still felt that resentment, like towards that person. So when it came time to like to get in a fist fight, I'd give him that little extra punch, just because I remember that type of bullying. So I knew how it felt to get bullied, so I never called anybody out. Like people used to roast me about my shoes or the small pants, or you know what I mean, just the naughty clothes. It was, yeah, like you said, being poor was definitely, um and I didn't realize how dysfunctional it was till I started hanging around people that had somewhat of a normal household.
Do you still talk to them?
To most of them are gone now. Yeah,
You're like me.
most of
You're
my
like me.
friends. Yeah, most of my friends are gone now. Like it's like,
And it's crazy because you're like sometimes you're not thinking and you start like remembering shit and you start laughing. You're like, what if this person was still here? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about that too because when I like behind the scenes, I still talked with Rich DM, and we talk a lot about like the Walking Dead and stuff like that. And I said it's weird to like compare like the path of like coming up to like that series to where there's only a couple original members left, and that's how I kind of feel like, man, that we're like there's only a couple of us left that grew up, because like you said, a lot of us turned to alcohol and drugs, a lot of us turned to the system, to got life sentences. I have a couple of them that still call, and about to do an interview with him. I asked him, I was like, hey man, he's got all day. And I have quite a few friends that call once in a while that have all day, and it's just like
Well, I'm waiting for my friend to stop being in the shoe so much. You know what I mean? When he gets out, I'm gonna do one too. He's from Logan, and he's young. He's like 30, 32, 33, and he's doing 16 years because all his crew told on his ass, and so does his cousin. Family went and told on him and blame it all on him when everybody had one incriminating shit to do, and everybody's free, and he's the only one in there. He's in Victorville.
yeah, that's just that's another part of the game that really made me.
Yeah.
Um, uh, that's what I want to get into next, was like the maturity of like learning the system, learning the rules of the prison yard, learning the politics of who not to talk to and how to talk to people, and and these for anybody that's done time, it doesn't matter. You still kind of hold that with you, like no matter what part of life you get into, no matter how much you change, you still hold that like PTSD from, you know, people can say, "Oh, I wasn't scared in there," but it is a scary situation. You can't show fear, and then you still got to have that mentality.
And you have to protect yourself in any matter, no matter if it's your homie or not. They'll come at you different ways. I've heard, because like my kid's dad, the tall one that's always here, my little boy that's here, my big little boy, the one that's bigger than
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Well, his dad, he's from East Los, well, he's from Bowen Park in LA, right? And he's deep in that. Dude, I have to walk my whole life from there on to where he's at now, because he's so deep in this that one time they set me up. They set me up literally. They sent a fake SWAT team and CPS to my old apartment where I used to live, and they were looking for me here at my house I'm at right now, and they would go over there. I left my oldest daughter by herself. She was 17 at the time. They had her at gunpoint looking for me and my two kids' dad, and she goes, "Mom, it looks so." Her grandma's a CHP retired officer, her captain or whatever, and she goes, "My grandma taught me how to use every gun that you can think of because she's a retired CHP." But she said they had me at gunpoint and they showed me an ID picture. It wasn't even an ID picture. It was who shows a girl. If you're looking for somebody, they're gonna show you like a mugshot if they've been in jail, or an ID picture or something. They showed me a picture of him wearing a hoodie and hardly you able to see his face. Who would have that? It's like it made no sense to me. That's when that clicked on me, like, oh crap, this is fake. This is something's up. And I'm like, yeah, but she noticed it too late. You know what I mean? They're like, from you, they show me your ID, but for them, they showed me just a regular I see you walking status. So that was weird. And they knew, and I'm like, who doesn't know I'm not with the person for it's been almost what 12 years that I've been with that person. So why would they come? They came over for his kids. They were only asking for two of my kids. If CPS, I had cases before, they're gonna ask for all my kids. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And they're like, why only two? They didn't even know I was your daughter. That shit was funny to me. She goes, that's another red flag. So it's, yeah, gang shit ain't fucking funny at all, dude. It's crazy, especially LA people or something else. I lived in LA right now 3 months. I couldn't last longer than 3 months. Hell no. Even the homeless scare me. I saw some crazy shit just walking by. You know what I mean? Is
yeah,
like you see people like overdoing, like over there overdoing on the alley, either getting killed, getting shanked, or fucking overdosing, or already did and you didn't even know. That's how sad life
yeah,
gets. Like, LA is seriously like, wow.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I had to turn my car on. It's starting to get chilly out here.
Well, no, right here it gets hot all day long. It's like 100 almost, and in the night it's freaking cold. Like it's normal. My go outside, put my dogs their sweater, and they're looking at me like, "What the hell is gonna be hot when you wake up?" So I got 4 dogs I gotta take care of. One's like a pit bull mix in the back. I didn't adopt him; they adopted me. Yeah, he was from Missouri. He was a dog that was getting mistreated and stuff like that. He only listens to me. That's the funny part. He listens to me, but he won't listen to nobody else in the house. So everybody's afraid of him. His name is Chewbacca. Chewy, that's his name. Chewbacca. I didn't name him. They gave him to me like that. But he's a good dog. But he's very aggressive when it comes to somebody getting near me. I don't know why. And then I told my dogs that I killed one boy, the pit bulls in the back, and the other one for the German shepherds in the back, in the front. And then I have the dad and the mom and the sister. I only got 3 of them, little chihuahuas. And then I got 2 birds and a cat. My cat soon to
Nice.
get home, Rue home. Her name is Harley Quinn. She's crazy like her mama, like me. Um, but yeah, the like little things that no people don't realize is like, what are you laughing at? My daughter's laughing for no reason. That's my mini me right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody tells her she's my mini me. She goes, "No, I'm not. I'm my own person." Yep, she's not gonna shut up. She's gonna keep going. Everybody, don't talk to her. She's gonna keep going. Let her stop talking. So, nobody looks like me though. Nobody looks at me.
Wait, yeah,
Who?
I like. Here's your eyebrows. No
Alec don't
eyebrows.
got eyebrows. He look like he's
Exactly.
mad. No, dude, you're fucking stupid. Did you hear what she said? She goes, I told him my son don't got eyebrows like me. He goes, yeah, exactly. He got no eyebrows.
They call him
Stupid. And then my son said, I didn't know he was on the phone. He goes, they call me Angry Bird at school because he has eyebrows like he's mad all the time. Like literally, like his eyebrows are like so pointy. Like it's not even funny. Um, yeah, my kids are weird. Oh, we're all weird in our own way. Yeah. But
That's what's up.
besides that, it's okay. Everything's fine. Like I tell my kids, you guys don't know how to defend yourself. I know. Did you ever go through that? Oh, I'm gonna jump you, and it's like a lot of people jumping you for no reason, just like fucking around.
Yeah.
Nigga, you cry every time the baby hits you.
Yeah. So
Say what the hell you talking about? She funny. Hey, she got jokes for days, anyways. She got more excuse than an exit from a railroad track
my
and
whole
shit.
life is a joke.
Y le valió. My whole life is a joke. Le valió. Anyways, yeah, she's sarcastic. Leave her alone. But anyways, for your life experience as a native, and you can say I consider you normal. Like I don't see no difference between race or whatever. But just a little wilder, just a little bit. I could tell you a little bit more. Like, yeah, you don't think twice of a thought before you do it. I know that. You could tell right
Yeah.
away. You're like, all right, you really want to fuck with me? I'm gonna fuck with you real quick. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show and tell you. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you how it's done, dude. That's how you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me okay, growing up on the reservation and then moving to Colorado and living most of my life in Nevada and growing up with Mexicanos, Chicanos, the cultures isn't different. Like honestly, there's like we're
Well,
rich with family values and
we
you
come from
know
like Aztec and Mayan, and Guatemala is also nearby like ours, like you know what I mean. So you guys kind of have the same cuisines, the same kind of like morals. Because, well, nowadays nobody's holding on the morals or the traditions. That's the thing. Before we used to kick it like family. Now we don't even do that. It's like everybody's their own way, and if somebody dies,
yeah.
it's mine, and boom, that's it. They're gone.
Yeah, I mean, because growing up before internet and all this other stuff, I used to grow up with my cousins, like their brothers and sisters. And, now when I see my kids and the families are so separated, you can't even have birthday parties without other outsiders coming in. So I don't even get to the point to where I don't even invite people to come over for birthday parties. My son's birthday is coming up, and for the past, like, what, he's going to be 6 for the past 6 years. We invite so many people and nobody shows up. So now it's just like, okay, well,
Or
and
if
I know,
everybody's together, they're texting. They're not no longer talking. Everybody's texting and then same the goddamn table. You're like, what the hell is the point
yeah,
of
and
this?
watching a live isn't is as up close and personal showing, you know what I mean? So when people invite me to birthday parties, I go because I know how it feels when, I invite people for, I want my kids to have fun with their cousins, and there's so much separation now. It's just,
I don't even make
it's
parties for
ridiculous.
them for the same reason because they don't come. And it's like, why am I gonna go waste my money? Might as well give them the money and tell them you want to go to the mall, you want to go somewhere else. We'll go field trip. Fuck it, let's do this because I know nobody's gonna
Yeah,
show up. And it's sad though.
yeah,
It's
most
sad because
definitely.
that tradition is gone. Not even family reunion, or they do it, but they don't invite me. That's the sad part. But yeah, that's the thing I tell my kids. Whatever you see in my life that is not making sense, try to fix it in your life. Take that as a oh, my mom's family didn't even like do this with her and this with that. You guys keep that's all you got is all you guys. If somebody fucks you up, who's gonna come after and help you? Who's gonna open your door? Now, if you guys have that, oh, I don't like you, brother and sister, then what's the point of being a family? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you guys have each other, but if you don't have each other, then what's the whole point of being in a family? You guys don't know the meaning of love and family and unite together and all that. You guys don't know none of that, and then that means I failed in the teaching.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like going from that to like actual family members living in like a 10-minute drive, I feel more embraced by the comments on YouTube. Like whenever I see somebody that I recognize and then, hey, what's up, Puffy? And you're like, hey, what's up, Cuba homie? And then, just all these different like people interacting, and then you become like a family almost, like through the YouTube
Like the streets, like I tell
channels.
everybody, the street and YouTube is similar because people actually care, even though you guys haven't met us or whatever. But you guys come along and it's like we're together every day status, or whenever we see each other. Hey, remember when we did it? But out like
Or yeah, and
it's
then when
better
you
than
see
family.
somebody
I'm not
not
gonna
or
lie.
or yeah, and then you don't see somebody in the comments for a while, you're like, man, hope that person's okay. You know what I mean? And then you trip out when you see them when they're like, hey, what's up? But yeah, so
I do that to
but yeah,
CrossFit
with
a lot.
with everything, like to like fast forward everything, everything that I learned growing up as a criminal is what I put towards after, going to prison and getting my education and then going for business classes and going for, trades. I read like a lot of the books for like knowledge of leadership but I wasn't reading it to become a better gangster. I wasn't reading it to become a better criminal. I was reading it to leave the life, to leave my friends that never wrote, to leave just even because like even still like when they try calling, it's crazy. I know it's messed up, but
It's
they're
because you
still
learn
active, and I don't want to
you
answer the
learn
phone because it's
when
just
to
it's
stop and when to leave it because you learn the hard way, even though it's painful to turn. That's how when my friends passed away, I felt so guilty because I couldn't motivate them to get out of the life they were living before they passed and left to death because they overdosed or whatever. I felt like that guilt hits me, but it's like I did it for the best choice. They decided to choose the wrong path. I couldn't get them out, but it's like still that little point of like, oh my god, you could have done more than yeah, you know what I mean? But in a way, it's a good thing that they're not longer here because they were going through a lot of like worse than me probably. But at the same time, I miss them because who am I gonna run to? Nobody's gonna sit in. Hey, hear crazy Puffy talk for like 30 minutes and have a combo on her own. Sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's like all that shit. It's like a missing thing. Like I feel like lonely status sometimes.
yeah, yeah, most definitely. And it's yeah, like it's so everything that I got that I've learned like in a bad way is I put my most like if I was able to get up every day and put on a uniform and wear my Nebraska hat, wear my red my red shirt or my what I mean, red laces, and ready to go out there and do the rest of my life or sacrifice my life for a cause, is all the energy I put towards that is what I put towards my business now. Like anything that I'm going to do now is going towards you
What made
know
you do your business? Like what made you like, hey, I'm gonna get up today and I'm gonna build this business that I got going. Hey, I still wanna try your food though. I don't care if I gotta go in a filter mode. I'm still gonna catch up to you. Trust me.
yeah, okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
hey,
well, what really got me was okay, so I go to I I go to college. I go for welding. I'm a certified welder. I know how to do like I know how to do pipe welding, stainless steel, MIG, TIG,
so you went for
electrode.
welding but became a cook, right? Am I correct?
That's the
That's
weird
dope.
thing because I was in the Midwest. I was out there in Iowa and like Illinois and Wisconsin, and there's a lot of welding. There's a lot of stuff. And then I met my lady that I'm with now, and we moved to Washington State, and I moved to Yakima. And then I moved to Yakima, and it's agricultural work. And as you can tell, I'm fat, I'm overweight, I'm out of shape. I am not going to last in a field. They'll be picking me up and taking me to the hospital. And
Hey, I told my mom I can't work in the fields because I'm too skinny and then I'll faint and dehydrate. That's why I'm laughing. When you
yeah,
said that, I was like, oh, opposite mode.
opposite mode. Yeah. I mean, I give it up. I mean, I always show respect to the agriculture workers out here, and I always give them discounts whenever they come to the restaurant or they came to the food truck. So I get out here, and there's all agriculture work. There's no welding work. It's hard to find a job. And I had an interview. I was like, man, I'll do whatever, you know, I'll work whatever. The one thing I promised after, like getting a conscience of like my criminal past and all this other stuff, one thing I promised is that I'll never sell drugs again. I don't care. how bad I'm getting. I'd
I
rather
did that. I
panhandle.
did that too. I used to have like a drive-through through my window, and me and my friends used to like take turns, and it looked funny because my friend was my neighbor, so it's like you pass from Jack in the Box ain't open here, go to that one. You know what I mean? It's like Facebook. My mom goes, "Oh, you're having drive-through night." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't know for what reasons." But I gotta go. Good night. I told my mom,
Yeah,
I was like, "You tell it too." You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, that's one thing I promise I'd never do. I'll never um gain financial gain from somebody else's suffering. I lost my wife to a heroin overdose. I've lost family members to drugs, and it's just the conscience of like, okay, I used to tell stories of like what I had before I went to prison and how much I was making, and then on the flip side, I'd start thinking of all the families that went without because their families sold their food stamps and couldn't pay their rent and had to go out on the homeless, and the kids that had to go into foster care or worse, or it's just a shady, messed up game. And when you got a conscience, man, you can't. I can't. I can't. I
Look,
can't do it.
I'm
Like I
gonna tell
don't
you.
care how bad.
I'm gonna
Uh,
tell you, I
you
was
know.
in the same situation. You know why? Because my kids, I lost my kids, and I feel like I lost my life. Like literally, like fuck
Yeah.
overdose and fuck all that. I lost my world. My world was my kids because I never got attention or whatever. To me, my kids are gonna love me unconditionally, dude. I apologize ever since they went through that trauma that it wasn't even my fault. Because my baby daddy had me on lockdown, and I couldn't go nowhere. I almost had my kid and my one before Frank's son. I almost had him in my apartment. He wouldn't let me out. He had me on lockdown, like lockdown, wood, everything, locks, everything on doors, windows, you name it. You know what I mean? And I couldn't do nothing. The only thing that saved me was like pray to God that day to somebody come get me. I had no phone. I had no nothing. Nobody would help me. His mom knocked on that door. As soon as I got to the hospital, as soon as I got on that gurney, I had the kid. I swear to God, it was the most scariest shit I've ever lived in my life.
Yeah. It
So
is. It's
it's like, fuck. That was my major stop using, stop doing, But it was a scary shit. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't know what was
yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
If
It
I was
is.
gonna die or not or that day.
Yeah. And then not only that, you got to worry about the police. You got to worry about the snitches. You got to worry about jackers. You got to worry about just having a bad product and people. It was just a messed up game. So, like I said, I'm never ever hustling again. I'm never ever. I don't care. Like, if I found like a bag or something, I'm I'm sorry. I'm turning it in. I'm not keeping it for
Dude, people would
gain.
give me stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, look, it's going down the toilet. Did you see that?" They're like, "Oh, don't do that." I'm trying not to get in my hands and none of this. Did you see how? Look, fuck the floating. It's going down the toilet. They're like, "Don't do
Yeah.
that." You know how long it took us to cross it from Mex? Well, look, it's going back the way it came. Look, it's going that way. And they're like, "Martha, don't do it." My name is Ben
Yeah.
and I ain't in it. So either you get it and get out or get it and because that's gonna go float mode. You see the boat like it told the little boy the boat is floating. That's gonna float down.
Yeah.
Right. So every time they come to my house, you know what they did? You know how the housing have those little rails for the leaves or the rain or whatever? As
Yeah.
soon as
Yeah.
I'm like, you better get that shit out of there before I start the leaf floor is gonna start blowing harder and that shit's gonna fly further than you think. And they're like, no, 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 no. I'm like, then they stopped going because before they used to go to my house, everybody that came in ever gave me something for me to hustle for the kids. And I'm
Yeah.
like, as soon as I got my kids removed, I turned cold. Like I don't give up. Don't bring shit to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and kids fighting. Oh,
No,
what happened there?
no, it's because we're supposed to do a class for our athlete training because we have, we're gonna, trainer, whatever. You have to wrap up with band-aids, right? And we have to videotape for each other to do it. And we got our guinea pig first and foremost. My son Vika, he's our guinea pig. I don't think they did it right, but yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's cool.
Mission failed. He's got to redo that one. Yeah, you got to read. What the? You're supposed to go across. Not. He's gonna hang himself. In other words, he's trying to choke him. Hey, let's do it right here. Hey, we're gonna get the interview going while we do my class too.
Better because it's
Okay, I'm switching to the living room. Yeah, we're gonna go do some massive mummify because they don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyways, you keep telling me what says like. Is your mom still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive.
What does she tell you from back, Lucky back in the day to Lucky now? What does she think? Do you guys speak or no? Or
To be honest, me and my mom never really had a relationship. We're too close in age. She
oh
had me
my
at
gosh.
a young age, and
Oh, okay, okay. So
yeah, so
you're, you're like my nephew. My sister and my nephew are like just regular two different people. They see each other. They don't like father and mother. They act like, oh, hey, what's up? You here? All right, you're here. Okay, let's go. Because my mom and me raised my nephew. My sister was
yeah,
hardly there, and my sister only wanted to go out and party and stuff like that. But like literally, she got to the point where she was so drunk she forgot where she left my nephew. So we're over here calling people to see where she left him. It's like, where is she? Where is she?
yeah,
And my nephew
yeah,
is rebellious. Like people saw him coming to a restaurant, they all locked doors. That's how bad he was because of her. Like it was bad. Like they don't see eye to eye now, but like now they act like they're brother and sister. I don't know how to explain that to you. I don't know.
yeah,
And my sister had
yeah,
him at 17.
yeah. Me and my mom don't really we never really got along. So it was um I am not taking anything away from her. She's an awesome grandmother. Like my kids love her. I love her.
So she
But
does
we
what my mom does. My mom didn't do much for me, but she's doing it for her grandkids.
yeah,
In
and
a
I'm
way, it's kind of good, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you weren't there for me, but well, now you're. It's a good thing that
yeah,
you're there for them, but what about me? You don't even say I'm sorry or
yeah,
nothing. It's like let it be like it's a normal day. Let's do this. But I tell my
yeah.
mom that a lot, so I know what
No,
you mean by that.
my mom, she wrote to me while I was in prison and like apologized about the way I was brought up because my mom really like pushed a lot of this criminal activity onto me too because she was taking me out on like shoplifting. Uh, I
On missions. We
remember,
call it missions because I
yeah,
did that.
shoplifting at like 3, 4 years old, and then just I remember we have like an inside joke, like she said there was like a purse on top of a car, and she was like, "Hey, go over there, go gank that purse, and I'll buy you a transformer." And I remember I went over there, took it, and there was like $15 in there,
I did that to my
and
daughter.
then
Next thing you know, my pants because I used to wear baggy pants. They were so fucking heavy. I couldn't walk. She goes, "Mom, you got all my toys and cookies in your overalls." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was walking like this. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I got chips, cookies coming out everywhere. And she goes, "Thank you, mom, for my juice. Thank you for my chips." I'm like, "No, thank you for making me get caught up on your." I couldn't walk. It's like, what the fuck is going on with my pants? But
yeah.
yeah,
So, but yeah, every once in a while, like I'll see her on Facebook, like post like she bought something. But yeah, there was $15 in there, and she didn't buy me a transformer, so it's an inside joke. Whenever I see her on Facebook and she buys something, it's like, oh, you can afford that, but you can't afford a transformer, and nobody knows what we're talking about. Like, maybe now they do, but yeah, it was like an inside joke of transformers. Oh, it looks like she's moving over to the.
I'm going to my living room. My kids
Oh,
tried
okay.
to come. Remember, I told you we're gonna do the wraps because look what my son looks like. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. We're gonna have class 101 while you talk us about your story. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, there you go. But where was I? Okay, so we're getting into the business part. Okay, so okay, no matter how much somebody hears that you changed your life and you did all kinds of stuff, I was gunned down about maybe I was shot down maybe I think like 7 years about no yeah about 7 years ago about 7.5 years ago I was gunned down. I took two 45s to my chest. I flatlined like 12 times. I remember all of it until they put the anesthesia on me to do the operation. But I passed away I flatlined during operation and I seen them take the bullet out of me. Um, it was just a crazy experience. So, I seen the other side and I was given, man, chance after chance after chance. And I just keep playing this game and it just keeps ending up in the same place, either prison, let down, shot down. And it was just like there's got to be another path than hustling or hanging around people that will just ruin your whole life. So I started I was in and out of I wasn't even in and out of relationships. I was just doing a lot of dating, and it was like I've never found like a partner. I know there's women that wanted to be partners and to make it a full-time thing, and I just wasn't having it because um there was a lot of self-hate, there was a lot of resentment, there was a lot of unanswered questions that I even tried to fathom of having a normal life. I felt like I didn't deserve it. I didn't feel that I was worthy of succeeding of anything in life. And having that type of mindset is just, it will still get you in trouble. It will still get you, still get you in situations. So whatever you think of yourself, your body doesn't know the difference. So you're gonna be out there. You know, I did a lot of like drinking, a lot of self medication through that, and I drank and I drank and I drank. And I just recently, about almost 2 years ago, I stopped drinking and stopped trying to cover up um, wounds that need to heal. There, I mean, that they need to heal, but I also need to talk about it. Like I need to let it out. I can't hold it in. I can't. That's why I started the channel, just giving an insight of my life, my journey. I talk a lot about it on my YouTube channel. So I talk about like the abuse of from the mother and stepfather. I talk about like the residential schools of I survived the survivor of the residential schools, like from like my father to stepfathers to just from parents to just a lot of stuff, a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff that goes on in life that I masked with alcoholism. So now that I stopped and I'm doing the healing process, and it's uh it's scary, but it's worth it. So, facing your fears and starting a business and having to have thick skin. I started my Facebook page about maybe 5 years ago. No, about 6 years ago, and it was just called A&B Native American Cuisine. And A&B is abbreviated from my mother and my lady's mother. So it's Andrea's my mother and Barb is her mother. So Andrea and Barb's Native American Cuisine. And with our culture, we give a lot of respect to women and the life givers in the Native culture. So without women, without Mother Earth, without women, men, species would cease to exist. So, with our culture, we give a lot of praise to women, and so with that, my business is giving praise to my mother and my lady's mother, who passed away about maybe 14 years, no, 16 years ago. Her mom passed away, so we're just honoring our parents and our culture by A and B. So people always ask what A and B stands for, so that's what it is. And then starting the so I started the page and I was taking pictures of other people's on the internet, and you could even take a look at it on Facebook. I still have the pictures up. There are pictures of other people's fried bread and their other, Indian tacos, and it wasn't our pictures. It wasn't our food, but I had it in my mindset that this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to start. And I move here. There's no welding jobs. There's no nothing going for me. I go to interviews and I have a facial tattoo, and get to interviews, and they were like, "No, we're gonna go ahead and stop it. We can't hire you. We can't have you here." And then it was just like at the very beginning, I was like, "Fuck!" And then this is like McDonald's and Burger King, and I was just like, if I was able to go mop a prison unit for 60 cents a day while in prison and making like 15 bucks or whatever it was a month or whatever, I can go mop a McDonald's, throw on a McDonald's uniform or fast food uniform, and they never gave me the chance
Back
because of
then,
Well,
my facial
the
tattoos.
biggest struggle and the outcome of you Bettering yourself.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is, if the way you feel about yourself, your body doesn't know the difference. So if you're gonna sit there and, you know, feel a certain way, that's the way the energy you're gonna put out. So with that, I got a job over at Legends Casino as a cashier. But the other places I worked for, like Wendy's, and I worked for T-Mobile, all kinds of this other stuff, I was never able. Only place I was getting ready to make supervisor was T-Mobile. But when I worked at Wendy's, I was like, man, I've been here for about 2 years. I kept seeing people getting lead jobs, supervisor jobs, and then I went up and I told my supervisor, hey man, I'm ready for that pay raise. I said I want more responsibility. I want to become put in for supervisor. I've been here. I showed up, did overtime. I showed up for other people's shifts. I came here and I worked my ass off. I never missed a day. Was never late. I think I qualify for supervisor. And he's like, haven't you noticed that we haven't put you on the cash register? He goes, that's because you got a criminal past. I know it wasn't for stealing, it wasn't anything sexual, it wasn't anything violent, but you do have a felony and we can't put you on the cash register. And I was just like blown away by that. I was like, I show this company, my fucking boss and all these people, like all this loyalty, work my ass off, and I was always like the cool coworker. I never talked shit on nobody. I wasn't, when I hear people gossiping, I'd like leave because that just wasn't me. I didn't like hearing other people talk shit about somebody who wasn't there. That was like my whole thing was like, if you don't have the balls to say it to their face, then why even say it? You know what I mean? If it's that's just the way I was brought up. And whenever I hear somebody gossiping, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave. But yeah, I was in a whole situation to where I I felt the system made me feel like I wasn't shit, like basically, you know what I mean? Uh, People and corporations didn't, they didn't give a fuck about the face. I was just another number. I was over there making them money, and doing all this stuff and going out of my way to make the money off of my skills, and all this stuff. I've been cooking for, like I said, ever since I was like 8 years old, and then worked at restaurants and all this other stuff, and cooked in prison, did all this crazy, have all this experience. So I started working at Legends Casino, and they did like almost it felt like a parole hearing. Like, well, what crimes did you commit? And do you feel sorry about it? Do you plan on committing crimes? Just asking, basic stuff. And to me, it felt degrading. I was just like, fuck, but I need this job. I don't care. I'm going to eat shit and I'm going to get this job. And then sure enough, I did get the job, and they put me as a cashier. And to me, going through that experience through Wendy's, I was just like, man, these people are really giving me a chance. And the same thing again after working there, and I seen all these different job openings, and I was like, man, that's a better pay. I'm gonna go apply for it. So I go apply for it, and they don't say anything about the criminal past and stuff. And so they're like, okay, well, you got a job interview. So they do the same thing again, like go for an interview. And then they said I was hired to go do this other job, but then they rejected me because they said I had a criminal past at the place I was working at. So I was back to cashier, stayed as cashier. And then for them saying I was hired, they charged me $300 for a badge that I didn't even get. So that took that out of my paycheck. I was making about maybe after taxes. After 2 weeks, I was making about $700 to $800 every 2 weeks. So I would, so after they took that and I couldn't pay my, I think it was electric bill, I had to call them and be like, hey, look, they took $300 from my paycheck because of this situation. So after that, and then realizing I'm never ever going to move up in that position. I'm always going to be a cashier. I'm always going to be stuck in that situation. And feeling trapped wasn't something I wanted to do. So that's when I started the Facebook page. I was like, and I kept telling him, I was like, man, I'm going to start my own business. I said, you guys, I was like, there's one thing that, one thing that this place lacks is Native American food. And they're just like, oh, because every single time somebody would hustle around here and do like a pop-up stand and do Indian tacos and fry bread, I'd be like, okay, I'd be waiting all week for them, or maybe 2 weeks. And then I go to the event and they're sold out. And then you see all these people going to get fried bread, Indian tacos. And I was just like, man, okay, well, when are you guys going to do it again? And they're like, oh, we'll probably do in a couple months. I'm like, fuck, a couple months, because to be honest, like nobody wants to make fried bread at home because of it stinks out your house. You stink like it for a couple days. Um, it's delicious, but the after effect of being in the house and just I, I'm used to it now. I mean, I've been cooking them for going on like 4 years now. But that's what rang to me. I was like, oh, look at all these people leaving just like me, pissed off, and like, hey man, I waited for this long to get an Indian taco. And so when I seen that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a tent. I'm gonna, and just every paycheck out of that little $700, $800 I got after I paid my rent, paid my bills, I'd have like about maybe $150 left. So I stopped going to the bar. I stopped drinking. I stopped going to fast food places. I would go get ground beef, hot dogs, macaroni cheese, ramens, and that's the kids. All of us. That's what we survived on for, man, a long time. Every time I get a paycheck, I would order stuff off of Amazon, and my whole house started getting stacked up with just all this food stuff equipment. And I kept telling my boss, I was like, I'm gonna quit. I was like, I'm gonna start my own business, and then they're just like, whatever, you know. And then I was telling my coworkers are like, really, that's what you're gonna do? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do Indian tacos and fry bread, and that's what I did. Like, and then I saved up, I accumulated, I threw a birthday party with a tent that I bought, and the tent was like, fuck, I think it was like, because I saved up like a few paychecks for it. I think it was like $700 for this tent that I bought, and I threw my son a birthday party. And like I said, that's when we were talking about like throwing parties where people weren't showing up. So I throw a birthday party and it gets windy, and I had it nailed down, but it blew off and broke. So there goes $700 that I had. So I was like, shit, okay, well, I gotta figure something out. I gotta do something. And then I started looking for trailers. I started looking for just all this different stuff. I was like, well, I gotta find something. So I found a trailer, the one that I have now. I had the windows cut out and I had all this stuff. I went in there and the guy wanted I think 900 for it. And so I was like, man, I was like, to be honest with you, I don't have $900. I got a fucking paycheck of 750 fucking dollars like right now. I mean, I'll go cash it and I'll give it all to you. I'm not gonna. I'll let my phone get cut off for a month because at that time I had Cricket. I didn't have, you know what I mean, a contract or anything like that. So um, I bought the trailer, and that's when it really started getting real. Like and then I
They're
bought that.
asking what
Let
your
my
tacos carry. What your Indian
huh?
tacos carry. They're asking what the Indian tacos carry. Hi, everybody coming in.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah. So Indian tacos is part of our culture. It's a food that was okay. So fry bread came from when we were taken off of the planes and taken off of our area here in America and put us on POW camps. And so after the United States Army put us on there, after killing us off, after killing the buffaloes and doing all this stuff to kill the Indians. So they started putting us on POW camps, and they used to give us rations, like kind of like how they still kind of do. Like They started giving us rations of food, and they're like, okay, here's rotted horse meat. Here's rotted, they get the food, and this is the stories that my grandparents and great grandparents would tell me, and they would give us rotted food and try to kill us off. So what there was flour, lard, and sugar and all this stuff, and then this is how fried bread came about. So this is how my people survived. This is how they lived to sustain life. So it's almost like the same texture as a tortilla, um, but with the fried bread, it's different. You fry it up. It's a staple of Native Americans. It doesn't matter from north, south, east, west. Doesn't matter what tribe you want to break a conversation. You bring up fried bread. So with that, you can. That's what our people survived off of. That's our soul food. That's our staple of survival. That's how we survived the Trail of Tears. That's how we survived just all these different things that they were trying to starve us off. So Native Americans, they love fried bread. They love Indian tacos. So the fried bread came about. And then, with our southern cousins, with the Mexicans, that's where we got the ground beef, the beans. So when you make it, if you go to my Facebook page, you look up A&B Native American cuisine. You could even Google it, and my old restaurant will pop up still. Uh, so with fried bread, that we got, has a lot of infusion of our southern cousins. So it comes with and they're the same to me. Okay, so Indian tacos is fried bread, beef, chili, lettuce, no, cheese, lettuce, and tomato. And the Navajo tacos is fried bread, refried beans, ground beef, cheese, lettuce, tomato. But it's a civil war that Native Americans have as an inside joke too. It's Indian tacos are better than the Navajo tacos. The Navajo tacos are better than Navajo fried bread's better than Indian taco fried bread. It's a little inside, like little civil war that we have. But yeah, that's fried bread. That's what I sell, and that's how I started my food truck. So I started the food truck, and so I'm going without. Okay, so we're surviving off of my lady's income because she works at the casino with me. So we're surviving off of her food, like what she can bring to the table, and so we're struggling. Like like if people knew the sacrifices we made to get where we're at now, they wouldn't be as envious as some people can get. Um, so we're struggling. I buy the trailer and I put it up, and then I start going to Habitat for Humanity. I start looking for plywood. I start looking for all this stuff, and then I start painting it. You'll see on the Facebook on the thing too. I think I have a couple videos of us painting it. Um, we didn't renovate it yet. We get it out, and then I kept telling him, I was like, man. And then I started showing my boss the pictures of the trailer, my food trailer. I was like, I'm painting. He's like, what are you gonna do this weekend? And I would buy like a 5 gallon paint of primer one week. I go paint it. I'd spend the whole weekend. There's a couple videos, pictures of us, and we go grab like a 12 pack of beer, and we go over there and we renovate it. We paint the inside. We're doing everything we can. Make sure that we get the generator. So I buy this generator, and that costs a lot of money, especially when you don't have none. Um, so we get the generator going, plug it in, lights come on. We're excited. The outlets are working. So now it's me and my supervisor never got along, and I just got tired of the bullshit of her talking shit to me, and favoritism and all this
For my
other
next
shit.
question,
Huh?
what was the hardest thing of all this going through? Already hard enough, and the changes and the sacrifices, and all the bullshit you gotta go through, what was the most discriminating thing that's ever happened to you as you're a native in the outside world that you've never thought you would experience? And what was the outcome out of it?
The outcome was the most discriminating is family who don't support, coworkers that I thought were friends that didn't support, and like the same people that I was telling you about that hustled like once or twice a year would started going against us. We were the threat. We were the, we. I was like, man, this
The
is what
chance
I plan on
to
doing.
anything and everything. You're at a war, a big
Yeah,
war.
basically, yeah. So, we're getting into the whole food and, with Native Americans, another thing is too, is they're really picky on who makes the fry bread. So that once after we got it going, people would pull up for, man, I'm telling you, for like about a month and a half. What I was going to get into is after we renovated the whole thing, I told my supervisor, I was like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. I quit. I was like, I'm fucking done with you. I'm done with this bullshit that you tried putting me through. And I quit and I'm doing it full time. So I got like, I saved up about maybe $1,100 and I'm going out and I'm buying everything. I'm making sub sandwiches. I'm making macaroni salad, potato salad. I'm buying burgers after, making all these different burgers, making all this Indian tacos, making all this different, and I got this whole inventory of $1,100 worth of food, and um a lot of it went to waste. Like a lot of it didn't go to waste. It went back to just the family. Everybody's eating macaroni salad. So I make about maybe $86 my first day, and I'm waiting for everybody to come. I've been advertising on my Facebook page, on the business page. I had about maybe
You know what?
86 people
I'm researching
following
how
me
to
on there.
get it delivered home. Like send it somewhere because I'm if I don't get to you, you gotta get to me somehow. So I'm researching how to make your food like go out and last while going. You know what I mean? Because some get you know what I mean? The package mode. Like I'm researching all that for you, and I'm willing to help you in every way I can, no matter what it takes. You're an expert, and I'm not gonna lie to you. That's an inspiration. Like I gotta figure something out. Like I'm a person that if I set myself to fix something for somebody, I'm gonna go do it. So yeah, people don't like that about me. That like my family's like, no, you don't know how to say no, and you always want to be healthy. Yeah, I don't care. Hey, I get something out of it. I get joy out of it. I got like my homegirl. She's disabled. Like literally, she's disabled. She can get swollen real quick and can't move. And then there's days where, oh my gosh, she's walking faster than I am. But yeah, she has
Yeah,
all stuff. Yeah, so I help her a lot. Like, why you helping her so much? You got things to do at the house when you got no shit to do at the house because the people that's supposed to do their shit have to do it. I have a lot of time to myself. Thank you. So I go help her. So, yeah, so there's a lot of people help people. They don't like me doing that because it's like taking
yeah.
their time from me. You know? I don't get it. But what's your biggest like your biggest accomplishment you could say now that you're so far into whatever you're doing that
Oh,
that has
my
made you proud to yourself like when you got that done like accomplished and you're like oh my god you want to cry on your own self you're like oh my god I finally did it got this much out of me and it took this much power out of me and enemies or whatever the hell I had to do and became who I wanted to become that didn't expect to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'd say the biggest accomplishment of doing all this is showing the people that were doubting us and still do and still hate on us, showing them that it can be done. And the accomplishment is when I go out in public because I'm always on Facebook, I'm always advertising my business, I'm always going live, and people outside of my world
That's on
recognize
YouTube.
me.
We got you on YouTube,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the YouTube's been pretty cool, and it's brought a whole different type of people that I'm going to be traveling and going to. But like around here, I see people in like the grocery stores. I still do. My lady makes fun of me. She's like, "Oh, look, you're Facebook famous. You got all these people who recognize you," and then people do show a lot of respect. They're like, "Hey, look, that's They're like, "Hey, that's the Mr. Fry Bread guy." and it was just like, and then the little kids, they see me, they're like, "Hey, look, there's the fry bread guy, mom," and yeah, because they always see me on Facebook going live and doing advertisements, and I'd say the biggest accomplishment is surpassing the goals that I've set for myself. I've hit a plateau. I've worked my way up to a restaurant, and I had a restaurant for about a year and a half. And I'm just unfortunately bad location. The food prices tripled. The power, the water bill was just super crazy. The electric bill was nuts. Having to pay employees and finding employees to show up to work. Um, my I would say the biggest accomplishment also is working my way to a restaurant and learning that experience. Uh, Having that title, the boss, having somebody like, "Hey, boss," it's a weird, even still a weird feeling just having that. "Hey, boss, let me get a, hey, boss, could I talk to you for a little bit?" And, and
Photos
having that.
that you guys have is you already know what's for, but you like to let them out. um, I have a question. What's the difference between a native and being regular?
Huh?
Being a native and being a regular person. What's the difference? Because I know there's a lot of laws and a lot of stuff. You guys are more free to do than us.
Oh, for the food? Your phone was cutting out. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. What's the difference between being normal, like the rules about the like businesses and stuff like that is different for you guys than us. You guys are more free to do things, and then we are. So, what is the living, the business, and the family, like the laws and all that stuff? What's the difference between regular than you guys? Since you guys are natives, I know there's a lot of more freedom for you guys that you guys are natives. That you guys don't pay taxes. You guys should be
Oh,
getting
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, the difference on like of
life,
having.
society, and all together. Like you guys get money just to live here. That's the funny part. I never caught on why, but now they explained to me what the whole, and you have to be a certain amount of Indian or something like that to get money. I don't understand none of that. What's the difference?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, that's another thing I talk
Regular.
about on the channel is the misconception that people think that we get per caps and that I don't get shit. I don't get no money. I don't get nothing from anybody unless if I go on welfare, then yeah, I can get money that way. But other than that, my
How come
tribe doesn't give me money. They don't pay for my education. They don't.
I have a question. Because the Kashan casino, right? The Indians natives around here, they say they get 10,000 a month. Is it true?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's tribes that get paper, but I'm
So
one
why
of
is
the
that, right?
tribes
That's what
that.
I don't understand. They say because they're Indian, they get. I'm like, they're the ones who told me. Hey, shut up. They're the ones who told me that. I'm telling you, we're weird as we can be. But they told me that, sir, if you're a certain amount of Indian, I don't know how it works, but you have to be a certain amount of Indian for you to get money and to be able to live in the reservation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, most definitely. I'm not Yakima Nation, but I live on the Yakima Nation with the people. You know what I mean? I don't get any of their benefits. I don't get any of their, but they're always like including me. Like if I wanted to do like the entrepreneurship class, the tarot class, job skills class, I can sign up for it. If I can sign up for like the help, they do a couple things but yeah, most Native Americans don't get checks. Like
So,
that's the one thing
so
we don't get money.
wait, telling me that it's so like that's gonna end soon, like because you know how tradition stuff is turning into okay, some is better, but some is not. Some is good to come like economically towards you guys as well as we're fucked you and don't you know what I mean? We don't care. It's like it's we're fucked. But you guys at least have that thing that you guys are more free. But you guys have different laws, right? The laws are different with you guys. Only if you live in the reservation, right?
No, it's federal. Like
But I
anything
don't
you
know.
do on the state, anything you do on the reservation is a federal crime.
Hey, it's a true.
That's the only.
One time I went to the Koshan one. I was laughing because the medicine doctor was the main drug dealer in that motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
And
Yeah.
I didn't even know that shit happened. They don't say nothing to them because supposedly everything's for medicine. And I'm like, that shit ain't medicine. I know that ain't no medicine to me. I know that.
Yeah, that's not no real medicine, man. That's not. Yeah, somebody who carries that status, they're not going to be no drug dealer. So that's just somebody fucking talking shit because I know I wouldn't put up with somebody saying that they're a medicine man and they're out there selling drugs. Nah, that's just somebody fucking being an idiot. Yeah, but yeah, we don't get no. I don't get no money. My lady gets a little bit of money, but it's nothing to live off of. There's some tribes, like I said, if they have mineral rights, if they have a casino, if they got like this income, then they can do that. But yeah, when it comes to like crime on the reservation, it's federal crime. So if they rob somebody, shoot somebody, or just anything, that it's like when you're in Washington D.C., anything that you do over there, it's federal land, so it falls under federal crimes.
So
That's why when you
the
go
reservation
to
is not free. It's like
federal
reservation.
prison, your phone was cutting out.
You're telling me that suppose well the now the territory that belongs to the natives are no longer native territory. It's also both or just native. You know how they say
No,
sometimes you
it's a sovereign nation. It's a sovereign nation. They got their own government, but then it doesn't really benefit anybody when you got somebody. But yeah, there's a lot of like jurisdiction differences. That's where the whole missing and murdered indigenous women
that's
comes
what I was
into play too.
kill somebody, nobody will find them or something like that. That's what I've heard along the way because
Yeah,
they
yeah, that's it's a pandemic that Frank Vibes talks about with Raymond, and I bring it up sometimes on my channel too. But it's a really, yeah, it's it's different. I mean, it's from what I notice, the cops, they have their own Yakima Nation cops. They don't do their job. It's nobody's gonna tell. Nobody's going to
you
um
I change
want to be known as a snitch. No, because everybody's got to live here. So you want to do the good thing and be like, yeah,
so
yeah, he shot him, and then they come
like
after
they
you.
take revenge. Like if anything, you feel like since they live there, they're afraid that there's somebody's gonna revenge for what they did to them or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you had any interaction here on YouTube? Like literally in a way that people look at you different. So you go to a channel and they're like, oh, this dude is negative, and they start talking like they treat you different.
No, there's a lot of misconceptions. Like, I mean, like even like what you're talking about. There's a lot of misconceptions that Native Americans are papered up when we're not. You know what I mean? We're not. We don't get free handouts. We don't get. I don't. Most of the people around here are super poor, and that's why when I started my business, that's why I started giving to the community. When the tribe embezzles from them, they take their money and do whatever they want. And here you got me that's only making like 180,000, almost 200,000 a year. That ain't shit because most of that has to go to taxes, goes back into
It's like you're using
uh
it all over again. It's to
supplies,
recycle money and do it
and
again.
then it's
Do
yeah.
you
But I've been going at
do
it.
you
I've
pay
been going at
taxes
this.
on like the federal like our side or you pay taxes both?
I have to pay both. I'm a legit business. I got to pay. I make money on the reservation, but I still have to pay the taxes that other people don't. Like they get a tax break. Like if they're Native American on the tribe land, they don't have to pay taxes. But I still have to pay taxes for the money I accumulate here, and
But why? But
I gotta.
on the reservation you still gotta pay and the other ones don't. That's like really confusing on that point.
The money that the government's gonna have want their hand out and anything. So you know, you make a dollar, they want their 25 cents. You know what I mean? So yeah, the government's
What
always
is
gonna take their money. I always pay my taxes. I gotta.
what is the most stressful thing you've ever like encountered from when you were small till now and you still have that issue trying to figure out how to solve that problem you have like if say you were bullied or say that you weren't good enough for somebody and somebody made sure you knew you weren't like things like that like an issue like that Like what's your main challenge to like conquer, like make something good out of it and still be proud of it, but not giving a goddamn thing of whoever tried to stop you.
I think the hardest thing to accomplish is getting out there. I mean, there's so many other people like when you see, okay, I live here in Wapato. If there's a Mexican restaurant that opens, a lot of gente, a lot of Rasa will go there and support that person and support that business. Do I
That's
get
how
that
Mexicans
from
are. Yeah,
my
yeah, that's
people?
we all know.
Do I get that from my people? No, I don't. I get a lot of resentment. But if you follow me on my YouTube page, you'll see me out there like doing a live. Like there's so many opportunity. There's so many different cooks.
The questions I'm asking you
Nobody's
is
willing
because I
to.
researched you
Nobody's.
to like. I researched you to like. There's no more before I came at you. Before I asked you if you wanted to do this, because you're an inspiration. No lie, I'm not gonna lie. You're an inspiration because you've been through hell and back. You had your rebel time, but you decided to snap out of it, and you've come so
Oh
far.
yeah,
Like
you
so
have
far
to.
that I could say. Shit, I'm even proud of you. No lie, you come so far, even the struggles or whatever. That's why I asked you the questions I asked you. And I
Yeah,
noticed
yeah,
that,
yeah,
every time I see you, yeah, you might be stressing and you could tell on your face, but you try not to show it because you're that prideful that you don't like to show it. But you make the day come out somehow, some way. You make somebody's day, or something that makes you happy. You see something good happening, that makes your day, even if it was a horrible day that day. As long as you see somebody and they hey you, and they know you for some reason, that makes you good because at least you're getting somewhere that you expected not to be so far yet to. But now since you're on YouTube and all this, hey, we're all giving out word. Hey, he's coming over here and we're trying to help you. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
no
Most
matter,
definitely.
like I tell everybody, no matter the culture, no matter what, the whole situation has changed. If you got friends, it's doubtful at times because there's a lot of people that do act like I'm your friend, I'm your homie, da da da. And next time you know, they either jack you, stab you, or some. You know what I mean? They don't take you for granted.
Oh
So
yeah, most definitely.
that's what I've noticed, and I hope your kids learn a lot from you, like literally, because I know some of my stuff have not got through their head on there, but a lot of it. Yeah. But besides that, I know somehow, some way, you have accomplished more than you don't see yet. Because
Oh
I've
yeah,
read all kinds of stuff, and you got a long, long, long history on that start. So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. What's your proudest moment?
My proudest is my son Junior. When he was 5 years old, he learned how to make his own fry bread. He cooked he cooked his own fry bread, and he enjoys it. Like you said, it's showing somebody that it can be done, no matter what your past was, no matter what bad choices you made your whole life. My proudest moment is knowing that I don't have to worry about the cops. I don't have to worry about committing crimes. I can go to sleep at night. I can um I can honestly say that I'm proud of myself. You know what I mean? At times, and I appreciate the compliments, and there's times when you do need to hear that, because I like, no matter what, you have to have that smile on your face, no matter what bet. You just never know what somebody's going through. You just can't. A lot of people will hide what they got going on. They're worried about the bills, they're worried about their partner cheating, or they just going through divorce. You just don't know what a person's going through, so you want to treat everybody with the utmost respect, because you're not just selling food, you're selling an experience. If I was just an a-hole and was mean to you, would you want me on your platform? Would you see, if I was just rude to everybody, that came to, I was on their, I jump on their live and I started talking smack, and just, whether people are like, oh, that's just content. No, that's a person being a piece of shit. And I don't believe that nobody really should have the ability to clown somebody on their shit, or there's certain stuff people cross the line, and I just try to
You take
I
it
just
serious to the point where you're trying to help somebody. I seen that you do that. That you take it so serious to the point where you'll stop doing to help somebody just so they can feel a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like giving a
Yeah.
combo, talking to them. You did a good job. Move your leg up and forth. It's supposed to not let you move it backwards because you did it forward. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
And now he's gonna do it backwards, so you won't be able to move it backwards. Okay. And then like me, I tell everybody, I don't care what you look like, I don't care how you act, how you are, or who you are, because in reality, if I'm gonna meet you, I'm gonna meet you for who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge for who they are or not. If you're gonna be you, hey, let's do this. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna come at me fakely, it's like I'm gonna reach you and tell you straight what it is, back and forth, and I'll reach your hand real quick. You know what I mean? And it's like be yourself is the best way to do. You know what I mean? I,
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. Like I tell everybody, if you tell me, oh shut up, you talk too much, I'll be very grateful you told me, but I still won't shut up because that's me. I talk a lot, I talk fast, not my fault. ADHD is happening. Everybody commercial and mental health. But anyways, the thing is that I'm a person that I'm open to everybody. If you don't got nobody, I'll try to adopt you. You gotta adapt to me. I adopt you, you adapt to me. That's the only difference. And
Yeah.
I try to make somebody feel good. You know what I mean? Like everybody matters eventually. I don't know about me, but you know what I mean. I make everybody matter. Even this one that's right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, something else. She's my fuck the terrible twos. This is my little minion. You could say she's a mouse. My mom goes. It reminds
Yeah.
me of somebody looking in front of me, and she's like, "Oh my god, she's talking about me. She's talking shit." I told her, but I'm the weirdest one in my family. Everybody judges me for the past, my youth and my rehabilitation or whatever, and they tell me, "Oh, you're still da da." But I might not have a lot, but whatever I have, and if I can help, I'll help with it. You know what I mean? If not, I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try my hardest to get it to get done or something. At least fucking get it started or something. But the thing is, what I like to do is make somebody feel like they matter. Because I know I have friends that suicide. They suicide like it was devastating. Because I never thought they would. Because they faked the funk. There was no showing of it. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
why I tell people: be careful who you're talking to. Be careful how you say it. Be careful how it comes out because it's gonna bite you in the ass if it's bad or you're lying or whatever. That's why I tell my kids: be careful who you're talking to and how you say it to them because they'll come back to you eventually. And if you
Yeah.
see somebody needs help, like I see homeless and I stop. I don't give a damn. I stop if I see them fucked up. If I know that they're struggling, like I stop. They're like, Mom, what the hell, lady? What do you like for somebody who's like faint dead in front of you, or for you to be able to help them when you know you can't? You know what I mean? My kids already
Yeah.
know where everybody knows them because that's how I raised them. I help if I can, and if I don't, I try. And if I don't help them, and I feel like I didn't do it right, I get that guilt, the guilty trip. Like, oh my god, I gotta do this. So that's why I'm the way I am. Nobody likes it, but sometimes I go
Yeah.
overboard. I'm like, oh,
I
not
mean,
yet.
there's a lot of people. There's you're gonna hear like if you ask anybody about me, you're gonna hear like different stories. People know me from my past, and people will bring that up. But I ain't living there. I'm the lucky that you're mad at is back in 2003.
Yeah, I
That's
tell
a long
everybody.
fucking time ago. I'm not living there. If I was
Not,
still,
but
I don't have that mindset no more. I don't have that mindset to where, oh, he disrespect me. I'm gonna go do something to him. I'm
that's
gonna
all
go,
growing out of
just
it. We grow out of it. Eventually, we grow out of it. Well,
yeah.
some
And
of
I'm
us,
not
not
gonna,
other people, but you know what I mean.
yeah. And I'm definitely not gonna, And another thing is, I don't wolf with people on the internet. I'm not gonna argue in comments. I'm not gonna argue with people that aren't an arm's length. You know what I mean? Like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And 10 times out of 9, nothing's going to happen anyways. And I don't want anything to happen. I don't want to fight nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want nobody hurting me. And that's just the way I carry myself. And the positivity that I push is reciprocated. Look at all the people that don't even know me and love me and respect me through the YouTube world. You know what I mean? A lot of the people that they know the background. I know we come through similar stuff, the struggle, being poor, and some people use that against you, like, oh, that poor, he's and the clothes I wear are worn down, they're shitty. uh the clothes I do have, the shoes I have are tore up and ugly, is because I'm working all the time. I'm not focused on a really cool shirt or a really cool hat or really cool. What I want is a really comfortable life. I'm going to be a millionaire. and I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna become real estate. I've read books on real estate. That's the
I know how to
biggest thing
do
that
it
I'm
now.
gonna get into
I know how to do
next
it
is real estate.
that it don't look like it. I might look like I'm dorky, but it's like I told you, I'm a low key nerd. But I know how to do a lot of things. I've learned a lot of skills in the streets. I don't wait for
Yeah.
nobody. Trust me, I do it myself. I get really impatient if I wait for somebody. Like me,
Yeah.
I got my own tools. Everybody laughs because I'm excited to go cut wood and could do this and build stuff and stuff like that. I do it on my own. I never wait on nobody, and I'm good at it. So that's what makes
Yeah.
me. That's what makes me tomboy, and I love it. But what is your legacy that you want to leave behind that for somebody to take advantage of it?
Where I want the torch picked up at is when I leave is I want them to know um that I changed. I'm not that person that was destroying my community, that person that was and I didn't think about a lot of this stuff while I was selling drugs, and just at that time I didn't have the humility that I had. Really didn't care about the other person. I stepped on toes. I've done dirt. I've done a lot of stuff that I'm not proud of, and it still hurts me to this day to even think about like all the wrong stuff that I've done, and then how it's affected my family that doesn't do that doesn't understand that type of lifestyle, and the simple things of saying, "Oh, charge it to the game. Oh, it's part of the game." That's how it goes, man. It's just like getting over the whole mindset of that, and like realizing that I hurt my grandmother, that I hurt my auntie, that I hurt my uncle, I hurt my nieces and nephews, watching them grow up on my prison wall through fucking pictures and photos, and my son being born while I was in prison, and missing the opportunity of having a relationship with my daughter, and trying to build that back up with her, and my son getting locked up for the same type of stuff I was out doing too, and he's about to get out of jail, and it's the legacy I want to leave is that I've if you're going to be mad about something I did in 2003, then so be it, man. Hold that grudge, be mad. The legacy I want is that I've changed my life, and I inspired at least a few people to get up and go get it too. Because everything that I've told you is hard work, like the sacrifices, I'd be like, hey, I can go to work to eat because I have a lunchtime. So that's the one time I'd eat, but I come home and I cook for my kids and make sure they eat, make sure they got clothes on their back, the laundry's done, the electric bills is paid. And nobody sees that. They'll only see the parts where, hey, I worked, got the food truck, got to the restaurant, closed the restaurant, then back to the food truck, and now catering. Now business is starting to boom, and business is taking off. It's gotten to the point to where I see hope. I see, like you said, a legacy in A&B Native American cuisine. If it becomes a franchise, that's going to be awesome. If somebody's going to invest, and I would say it's just change. Be good to somebody. If you have the opportunity to make somebody smile, do it. You know what I mean? There's so much negativity out there already. You see it in the news. That's all people will post is somebody's downfall. Somebody got killed. Somebody did this. Somebody did that. And nobody is like, hey, look, he started a business. This person's Puffy's going through school. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna say, hey, look, Puffy's doing great in school. But if something happened to Puffy, hey, look, this happened to Puffy. And it's just like it's like, why get off on that negativity when you gotta appreciate the person for who they are, for the accomplishments that they're doing, the hard work that you're doing as a parent, and you got your hands full. Look, you're doing an interview with a family in the background. It's you're still doing it though. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you have to appreciate out of person.
See, they're cooperating with us, right, Matthew?
There you go. Aw,
Yeah, they're wild.
the onesie.
I know, but he takes his clothes off. He looks like that little kid from the Wild Berries.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He takes off his liga and his hair's all over the place, and he sounds like that.
Oh,
Wendy would die. No, no, no. Say hi. No, don't you see?
No, they're getting down. See, the cool stuff like that, like the blessings of having a family, of being there and being a
Out
parent.
of
I
all
mean, that's
two little
you
ones,
know
the ones
the
are
just yeah, all
they
the
like the big kids, and the big kids are afraid of the little kids. That's how bad it is.
and be. I would say right now, being the best shot caller is calling bedtime to the kids. That's the stories I want to hear. You know what I mean? Hey, it's bedtime, kids. Like even right now, it's like 9:30. I can see my kids inside the house running around, but they know come 10 o'clock, go brush your teeth, get ready, go to bed, and it's it's all about routine. It's all about having a safe spot. I'm giving my kids the life I've never had, the life I've wanted, the protection I wanted, the safety I wanted, a place to come home to where I'm loved, and I'm cared for. And I may have not got it. I didn't get it, but my kids do. My kids know I love them, protect them.
I tell
They,
everybody first what you guys need, and whatever's left, I'm next. That's it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And I'm far from perfect, but I can tell you what, my kids love me. Uh, they they adore me. They look to me for guidance. They're really quick to show off, like, hey, look, I did this for homework, and the 8-year old and the 5-year old, they're really competitive for attention, and I give it to them both equally. And then I got the 16-year old. She still gets attention. You know what I mean? I'll tell her how proud I am of her. It's just whatever I didn't have at home, like of all the frustration and all the pain, um, is diminished when my kids are in my life. So to set examples, I quit drinking. I quit, just quit with the negativity, man. Like it'll rain once in a while, but it's not going to rain forever. So when you're having a bad day, you just can't stay focused on that bad day and
Yeah,
stay
I tell my kids the same
living in
thing.
that bad
Nothing's
day.
impossible. Everything's possible, and all that.
Yeah. So, it's just whatever energy you put out is going to come back. Like me
Oh,
getting
then
shot,
everybody
I
didn't want to
wasn't
get
putting
near
out.
me because I get too hyped sometimes, and everybody's like, "Oh hell, yeah, I get too much, too much." But I try to see everything positive, not negative. I get a lot of challenges, trust and believe me, like a lot. That is like sometimes I'm like, "What the hell did I do to deserve all this?" You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I get a lot of that. But at that
Yeah.
moment, I'm like, "Fuck it, man
Yeah.
up and take it, and do what you got to do and solve it." Why make it come out negative when you can make it positive without you thinking? Sometimes it just turns positive.
Yeah. And the way I look at it too is if you're not willing to put in the work, then don't expect great rewards to come to you. If you're not willing to get up and go to work and handle your business, and even with the job, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be working the 9 to 5 and just like, hey, fuck it, this is what I'm going to do, and this is when I'm going to retire. But now I'm being an entrepreneur. It's like you have to get up and you have to go to work, and you have to go out there. No matter what you're going through at home, you're fighting with your lady, your kids is getting bad grades and getting sent home from school. You can't wear that on your face because a lot of that's going to affect, whether you know it or not. It's going to affect your cooking, your attitude, just like when you're at work, you're super happy, you're clowning around with your friends at work, and then you have that negative Nancy come through and be like, just ruin the whole fucking vibe, and you're just like, oh, it rubs off, and you're like,
How would you feel when
I'm
you
in a bad
see
mood.
us on your road trip to glory? Where you're gonna meet all of us on your way. So every
Yeah,
stop,
and I'm gonna be coming to
every
California. I'm gonna be linking up with Rich DM. I'm putting a lot of money away for that trip, and it's because it's gonna be expensive, because you figure I'm paying about nine set not nine $3 and 60 cents a gallon here, and it's probably like $4 or $5 out there in California
eh,
for the gallon.
my uncle used to buy gas and store it.
Oh,
This big old bucket or whatever the hell you call it with the damn thing. And he would take it in his truck because he would go to LA a lot. He would come from
yeah,
Mexicali all the way to LA or Los Baños or something like that. And I would trip out because I'm like, what the hell is that heavy shit in his bag? You know, some gas is expensive. you have to think before you go. I'm like, oh hell. So they went to the dunes, or they had that damn. But I'm like, that day something. He's on Roblox. One time that thing pops, is like, oh my god, you better run because that popping is hot. You gotta go, gotta go. One time my uncle was taking cans over to LA and that shit rolled out. Boom! I'm like, hey, there goes your gas can. There goes the gas can. So yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another way to do it. Like, yeah, you're not gonna carry a whole lot of gas, but like when you know it's close,
Oh
like,
no, I'm gonna have a lot of equipment already to carry. I'm gonna have a lot of because everything I'm gonna be running off is propane, gas, and it's just keeping
hey,
up
did
with
you know that
the.
everything coming downwards is going lower instead of like expensive like where you're at? Because I used to live in Colorado, and when a gallon of milk here is like what two something over there, like $5. I was like, God damn, do we milk the
Damn,
cow?
what
What
part
the
of
hell?
Colorado? Because that's actually where I grew up at, is in Colorado.
I went to Denver, and then my daughter went to school. I was living by 50. What is it? 44 and 40 something. It was the heart of the north side. I didn't like it because I didn't.
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, it's not,
That's where the NSMs and stuff are at.
and it's crazy. And if it rains, it's during the day, and if it snows too, and it rains at the same time, I'm like, that goddamn weather you guys got over there. And I got chased by raccoons. They would come out of them sewer. I'm like, what the hell is looking at me? Next time you know, they're chasing my ass. Squirrels are powered in the most dangerous shits I've ever seen in my life. I never
Yeah,
thought a little animal can hurt somebody and run so fast.
got my
And,
got my
and then you start
Broncos
going there.
jersey on right now.
Hey, that's crazy. Hey, all I heard the squirrel goes, "Ee." I'm like, what the hell's coming at me? And I never thought a squirrel would fly. Hey, and I didn't know that no matter what day of time of the goddamn day, bats come at you. I learned a lot about bats in Denver.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't see me coming out after 7. Fuck that shit. I see a bat coming at me. Hell no. You know, unless you got an umbrella or something on me, I'll run out of there. People are like, get a towel. They won't. No, hell no. They'll cling on you. I seen that in action, and it was not even pretty.
Yeah, I got my son looking out the window at me.
Yeah, I'll let you go because it's already late. But hey, you get a. I learned a lot more than I already did. But I'm gonna show you. If you give me permission, I'm only leaving everybody's channel's name. I'm not using their real name or nothing. And I'm presenting the videos. I'm the only one presenting videos. I went. Do you know how many pages I did on ODM and the crew? 17, and a video.
Nice. Oh
Yeah, it
yeah,
was fun though. Confusing, but it was fun. I learned a
yeah,
lot about that flag. I don't know what the hell it's called flag. The one that everybody was
yeah,
debating on here on YouTube. I asked a lot of questions.
yeah. But uh, me, I'm getting, as you can tell, going back to like the traditional. I'm growing my hair long. I'm gonna get buried in my braids, and I'm just gonna keep it traditional, man. I'm just gonna go with what the Great Spirit has for me. And along this journey, I spent my whole life ruining it, and now I'm picking up the pieces. And now it's and it feels good. Like it really feels good to be able to say I ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? Like when I see the cops, I don't sweat it. When they see
It feels
me,
good, huh? Because before I used to be like all paranoid, like if everybody looked at me, I'm like something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Now I walk like I still kind of in a way think about it, but I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I already know I'm good.
yeah. And the crazy thing is now when the cops see me, they wave. They know who I am. Like I said, I'm always on Facebook, and I'm always pushing food. Like whenever I see them, like, man, come through, get your discount, man. Come get buy one get one free for you and your partner. You said it's not giving up free food to you guys. It's showing you guys respect for your duty, for your work. And, oh, okay, and it does. A lot of police officers do come to the food truck. A lot of parole officers come to eat, and it's a good feeling, man. It really does. Like being having that mindset, and it's you got to get if you're gonna get into something, stop saying I'm trying to do this. I'm doing this. Like if you have to, and the best thing you could ever do is write down your goals and keep it pushing in your head. You got to break these habits. There's certain things that'll keep you down, like drinking. Drinking really fucked with me, so I stopped drinking. Like it really messed with my goals and my accomplishments. I'd celebrate when I'm happy. I'd celebrate when I'm sad. I'd celebrate just to celebrate. And now that I'm sober, and it's just like, all right, I'm doing. Like my whole mindset is different. The way I move is different. The way and a lot of people try taking advantage that I'm a small business and be like, hey, I want this discount, I want that discount. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not selling myself short, so you can. I was like, you're gonna have to pay what everybody else pays. It is what it is.
That's why I don't drink. My mom used to beat up my dad, and my dad used to cry every time my mom was. It was funny. It looked kind of weird because my dad would cry, my mom would be aggressive. Yeah, but it was no joke. Like you would see the worst things happen. Like my family, everybody drinks. I don't drink. I will not drink at all, no matter what. I can't. I'm sorry for the background. Okay, everybody's arguing about a rap, but yeah. Besides that, the reason that the alcohol is really like not for me. Like I seen the funniest shit, but the worst shit, like the outcomes and stuff like that. Humiliation
Oh
mode, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like my
yeah,
sister used to get drunk. She didn't even realize guys would put like I used to be the bodyguard, not like and we would go clubbing, and I'm the one like taking care of my sister because she would get too drunk and they would put like she would dress us, but put the phones under her and stuff like that, try to speed us up. That's why I don't drink. But then I used my grandma passed away. My friend got me introduced to the drug status that I used, and I got worse because I felt the guilt because me my grandma passed because she wanted me to come save her from where she was at, and I felt like I failed her. Like I didn't get her out of the house she didn't want to be in. So I came late. When my plane landed, she passed, and nobody told me until I got that she passed away. And as soon as my plane landed, I didn't know she was already gone. So that's why I went too deep into the using and all that because I felt guilt, and I snapped out of it after they removed my kids, and yeah. But that's like my main like why I went into like a big depression and because I felt like a failure. Like you don't even want to know how hard.
yeah, most definitely. Depression is real. Like I deal with it too, and I know when it hits or when triggers hit, it's just like, all right, I gotta calm down. I can't let certain things get to me to where, like I said, even having a good day, I'll be like, man, I want to go celebrate and go grab a tall can, and it's just like, man, fuck that. It's whatever you're gonna do, if you're gonna be an entrepreneur, do what you're gonna do because there's gonna be so many people, negative people around you that are gonna be like, no, don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't nah. Like I had my dad telling me, no, don't do it. It's not worth it. And now he's trying to switch it up. And I was like, I knew you could do it. He tell me, and I'm just like, and then when I told my homeboy about it, and I was like, hey man, and then he started like laughing in front of it, like all his homeboys and all this other stuff, like this fucked up laugh and I can still hear it. And I was just sitting there like, man, this motherfucker. If I was there, but it was over the phone. I was like, man, I'd punch this motherfucker. And then, he was trying to get everybody else laughing, like, oh, this is what he's gonna sell, and they're like, you don't know what Indian taco is? They're fire and this and that. And he was just like, and then he realized he wasn't gonna get everybody else laughing. And the funny thing is like about maybe like 8 months ago, he was staying with my homeboy and he did the same laugh to him and my homeboy, but it wasn't over the phone. And my homeboy's got a temper like me, and my homeboy lit him up and beat the shit. So he told me about and then he didn't know about the laugh. He was like, "That fucking laugh, bro! It was just." He was like, "I know what laugh you're talking about." And he was just like, "Oh, okay." He thought I was just overreacting. I was like, "No, you weren't overreacting, bro." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't tell nobody about it." You know what I mean? And I was just like, it just irked me in a way to where I was just like, man, this is supposed to be my friend, and and the laugh. I can't even like redo it, but it was just a laugh that I was just like. Maybe it came from getting bullied as a kid for being poor or whatever, but that really like pissed me off. I was just like, so when my homeboy lit him up,
Adventures of Lucky Loco. Here we go. I do the same thing. My mom goes, "You're thinking about your past." I'm thinking about the past, the future, and what's coming next. And you never know. The
yeah,
unexpected come. Hey, but hey,
yeah,
we have stuff. You know what I mean? We got good memories.
yeah,
We're the life of the people. So if we weren't the black sheep of the family, where will we be now? Shit, I don't even know
right,
myself.
yeah,
My mom tells me, you behave unhappy and miserable like all about you guys. It's all you guys that would want to.
yeah. It's all about taking chances and like I say in the videos, be consistent and persistent in whatever you do, man, because it's a battle. You're gonna have to get up and keep doing what you're gonna do. Like your schooling, you're gonna have to get up and go do it. Like you said, you're getting straight A's now. You know what I mean? You're really working hard for that goal and to keep that, that's what I'm working for too. Is
I'm
it
doing that,
them
and you know
straight
what is
A's.
my reward? You know what is my reward? My tablet. I had one, and I'm gonna get one. That's my daughter don't come
No.
get it. She always picks my stuff. But I'm gonna get a tablet. Those drawing tablets. That's gonna be my reward. Like when I like finish this semester or whatever. I'm really excited about it. I never used it. I'm so more into the paper. Everybody says it's better. I'm trying. I'm gonna let you go because I
Yeah.
know they're looking for you. They're like, where the hell is he coming back in the house? What the hell is he still doing outside? Because my kids do that.
Yeah.
They,
I know my kids are they keep poking their heads out the window. I'm gonna go in and go. I really appreciate you putting me on your platform and letting me do this and
me too.
exposing me to a whole
I'm
different.
gonna have you. I'm gonna have you, Gangish, everybody that I've interviewed already. I need Vegas, but Vegas is hard to get. Now he's hard to get. And Weeby, I need to get them too because I want a little bit of everybody, like your guys' ways and how you guys were raised and stuff like that. Because everybody went through something. But look at
Yeah.
them now. Everybody has
Yeah.
accomplished. Everybody had a record. Everybody was a thug or the black sheep. But if you notice, those black sheep are better than the ones behaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. But I'll get you
yeah,
guys soon.
because like
I
shout
really
out to
appreciate you
Gangish,
coming
man.
by.
He's a super dope dude. He's a Colorado homeboy too, and yeah, I'm super proud of him too. I seen that he's going to become a doctor, and he didn't say I want to be a doctor. He's like I'm going to be a doctor. He's doing it. Can't take that away from anybody when you're out there working your ass off and working hard for what you want in life. Nobody can take that from you, man.
We tried
Only
to teach
you
us
can stop
this,
you.
but we didn't have it. That's what we're trying.
Well, shout out to everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the Lucky Loco Show with Indigenous Talk. And I'm definitely going to be uploading more videos of the accomplishments and the adventures, like you said. It's a journey, and it's a journey I'm willing to share. Appreciate you, Puffy. You have yourself a great day.
I really appreciate you coming too. Like I told you, I'm gonna use it for my next one. It's gonna be on the 17th of March, so you're gonna be very interesting to people because
Cool. That's what's up.
it's different,
Let's,
and everybody, and like I told you, everybody else is different. The way they, I learned a lot about cultures. This whole report. I'm doing it on the dark side of YouTube and the different ethics and all that, the cultural and that everything, food, everything, traditions, everything. A lot has been lost. All I've learned and others, there's a lot of discrimination out there that nobody knows how bad it hurts people and how bad it can develop to a point a person can hurt themselves or disappear for some reason and never want to come out. There's a lot
yeah.
of things that nobody knows. But I'm gonna let you go and to the next time, guys. So wrong.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Hey, hit that like before you leave, you guys. If you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button, press the updates, and you'll see soon. Bye. Have a great night.